Okay, here's the thing. The World Cup is on. Billions of people are watching, and every single time that little flag goes up on the sideline and a goal gets wiped off the board, half the room goes quiet. Not because they're upset, because they have absolutely no idea what just happened. They nod, they say, "Oh, offside," and they move on. They don't know what offside is. And I get it, because every explanation you've ever heard sounds like it was written by someone who wanted you to stay confused. So here it is, the offside rule. No jargon, no diagrams you have to pause and squint at, just the simple version, the one someone should have told you years ago. By the end of this, you will actually understand it, and the next time that flag goes up, you will be the one explaining it to the person next to you. Let's go. Start with the only picture you need. Forget the whole field for a second. Forget the goalkeepers, the formations, all of it. Just picture this. You are an attacking player. You want to score. The easiest way to score is to just hang around near the opponent's goal, wait for your teammate to kick it to you, and tap it in. Simple. Unfair, but simple. Now imagine every attacking player on every team figured this out. They'd all just stand next to the keeper all game waiting for a pass. No running, no defending, just parking yourself on the goal line and waiting. The game would be completely pointless. The offside rule exists to stop exactly that. It forces you to work for your position. You can't just lurk behind the defence waiting for the ball. You have to earn the space. That's the whole reason it exists. Not to confuse you, not to ruin celebrations, to stop the game becoming a glorified waiting room. So here is the rule. When your teammate plays the ball to you, you cannot be closer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second to last defender. Usually that second to last defender is the last outfield player, because the goalkeeper is almost always the last one. So in plain English, you cannot be behind the defensive line when your teammate passes to you. That's it. That's the rule. Every single offside decision in the history of football comes back to that one sentence. But here's where people get confused, and this is the part that actually matters. It's not about where you are when you receive the ball. It is about where you are the exact moment your teammate kicks it. The exact moment. Not a second before, not a second after. The instant boot meets ball, a mental photograph is taken of every player's position on the field. That photograph is what the decision is based on, which means, and this is why it looks so unfair when it happens, a player can be onside when the pass is played, sprint past the defender and receive the ball well behind the defensive line, and it's completely legal, because at the moment the ball was kicked, they were level. The run happened after the photograph. You're judging the moment of the kick, not the moment of the catch. That is why players do the little timing run. They don't sprint early. They hold their position. They wait for the exact moment the pass is about to be played, and then they go. Timed right, it's a perfectly legal run in behind. Timed half a second early, the flag goes up, the goal gets wiped, and your team is furious. Quick checkpoint. So far this is basically, you can't stand behind the defence. Here's the part almost nobody knows, and it's the part that actually explains the weird moments where a player is clearly offside, but play keeps going. Being in an offside position is not automatically an offside offence. Read that again. You can be standing in an offside position, past the defensive line, closer to the goal than the defenders, and the referee will not stop play, because the rule only kicks in if you actually get involved. Specifically, you have to touch or play a ball that comes to you from a teammate, or you have to interfere with an opponent, blocking the goalkeeper's view, challenging for the ball, that kind of thing. Or you gain an advantage from being there, like a rebound comes back to you off the post. If none of those apply, you can stand offside all day. The referee will let it go. That's why you sometimes see a player lurking well behind the defence while play goes on elsewhere. They're not involved, so nobody cares. The moment they become involved, the flag goes up. This also explains something that confuses people constantly. You cannot be offside from a throw-in, or a corner, or a goal kick. Only from a pass played by a teammate in open play. So when a team takes a corner, every player can stand on the goal line if they want. Completely fine. The moment it becomes open play again, the rule reactivates. Now the tech, because this is where it got genuinely insane. For most of football's history, the offside call was made by a human being, running up and down the sideline holding a flag, trying to judge with their eyes whether a player's shoulder was half an inch ahead of a defender's heel at the exact millisecond a pass was played. Understandably, they got it wrong constantly. Since the 2022 World Cup, FIFA introduced semi-automated offside technology. There are cameras all around the stadium tracking every player's exact position 50 times per second.
the moment a pass is played, the system has the exact position of every player frozen in real time. It draws those lines you see on the replay, the blue line for the defender, the red line for the attacker, down to the centimetre. The decision is made by a computer, not a person with a flag, and the whole process takes about 25 seconds, which means the error of getting it clearly wrong is basically over. What it didn't fix is the error of getting it right by an armpit. And yes, armpit is the official unit of measurement, because only your head, body and feet count for offside, not your arms. Goals have been ruled out because a player's shoulder was a centimetre ahead. Legal, brutal, accurate. So, the offside rule. A player is offside when at the moment a teammate passes the ball, they are closer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the last outfield defender. Just being there doesn't cost you. You have to actually get involved. The timing is the tricky part. It's judged at the kick, not the catch. You can't be offside from a corner, a throw-in or a goal kick, and since 2022, a computer with 50 cameras is making the call down to the centimetre. None of that was complicated. It was just never explained properly. And that's it. That's the whole thing. Told you. Actually simple. If you want the next one, I did one on why everything in the World Cup costs so much money and where it all actually goes. It's right there. Go watch it.